think we're gonna try to surprise some of our videographers with some. So another thing I just noticed this morning as I was in and out of the front door, the studio house here, is I don't know if you can see this. And then there's this mini fridge. We need to get that cleaned out, get it in Nate's office so we can have. So what we've got are a few of these Zoom mics there for backup audio for when our clients are filming. Good morning, everybody. Brendan here at the studio house again. We made some jam a couple days ago from the apricot tree in the backyard here at the studio house. We're gonna leave some jam on Nate's desk. Hopefully it'll be a pleasant surprise for him. We got some pineapple apricot jam, and then we've got some straight up just apricot jam. And then we'll get to work. We're gonna clean and organize the garage a little bit today in preparation for a future project. So let's get this done. All right, so first thing we're gonna do, I don't know if you can see this rainbird panel behind me. LED keeps showing up on the screen, which means that our grass isn't getting watered all the way through all 10 valve systems. So we're gonna go ahead and reset that and reprogram that. And then we're gonna work on that shelf with old vintage looking luggage on it. We're gonna get that all moved out of the garage and downstairs into a storage room along with the shelf that's on it, and then we'll organize some more of the stuff that's out here, as I said, for future projects that we wanna do in the garage. So let's just hop to it. We're making okay progress here in the garage. We have certainly cleaned up this corner. We do still need to organize this table because we want to build some stuff along this wall and along the wall behind me here. But just wanted to show you guys, as I'm organizing and cleaning in the garage here, there's a kiln hidden away. I'm sure Nate already knew about it, but I did not, so it was a pleasant surprise. You can do some really cool stuff in kilns. So you use a kiln to fire like ceramics and porcelain. It could be really fun to try some projects in the future though, after we get the garage set up the way we want it. So I'm just gonna continue organizing away. Let's get back to it. Good morning again. In the garage today at the studio house, we're gonna do a little more organizing if we can. We're gonna try to get this pile of lumber organized a little bit more and scooched over so there's more room for the Tesla to park in here. I'm gonna clean the table off of dust. Two other things, we're also running some tests on the Rainbird panel. We're testing all the valves right now, and we'll just kind of hit that periodically throughout this morning as we organize in the garage. So good morning, y'all. Brendan here at the studio house again. That's where I'm always gonna be. Sprinklers are running, which I think means maybe we got the Rainbird panel figured out, and hopefully our grass will start to green up again. It is pretty, there's hotter places than Utah, but it's only gonna get warmer for the next few days. Our already struggling grass might struggle a little bit more, but we'll hope that because we've got the sprinklers running normal again, it'll start to green up. So we're gonna do a little bit of time inside the house. We're gonna work on that panel wall, the patio wall, see if we can get a few tiles up in there. And I think we're gonna try to surprise some of our videographers with some of that homemade jam from the apricot tree. So, but let's get some panels up first. Really quick, another thing we're gonna do today, we're gonna work in the garage maybe a little bit more. We need to move that kiln into the smaller garage kitty corner on the house to us. And then there's this mini fridge. We need to get that cleaned out and get it in Nate's office so you can have cold water readily available there. All right, so I've got a handful of these tiles that are already pre-drilled from the last time we worked on the wall. It's been a hot minute. There's about 5 of them. We're gonna see if we can get all 5 of them put up on the wall before our client gets here today, and we need to start being a little bit quieter. So just need to go ahead and get set up with the drills and the screws and the anchors for the wall. So let's go ahead and hop to that. So another thing I just noticed this morning as I was in and out of the front door, the studio house here, is I don't know if you can see this up on the wall there, but there's a hornet's nest getting built as we speak, and we don't want any of our clients to have to deal with that. So I'm gonna run down to IFA and see if I can find something to spray them with, and hopefully they'll be gone before too long. All right, so I just ran down to IFA and purchased some Spectracide Wasp and Hornet killer. It's supposed to be good for yellow jackets as well. I don't know the difference really between the 3, but it suggests spraying it on the nest at sunset, because I guess that's when insects are least active. I can't be here at sunset though, so what I'm gonna do is spray it at sunrise tomorrow morning. I'm hoping and assuming that insects will be a little bit less active at that point too, and then we'll let it set for at least 24 hours, maybe longer, to make sure it kills any hornets that were away from the nest that come back after we spray, and we'll see how it looks on Friday. All right, guys, we are at the studio house now. We got our clippers. We've also got a dolly, so we can move that kiln. But first thing is first, we also have this Spectracide that we got yesterday. We're gonna go ahead and spray that hornet's nest right now while it's still early-ish. And then we'll move this kiln to the other garage, and then we'll start working outside before it gets too hot. We're just gonna give you a quick view of the area we just cleaned, and hopefully you can remember what it looked like prior to being cleaned. It's not perfect still, but it's looking pretty good. I think Nate said something along the lines of it looking like an oasis back here, so that makes me feel like we did a pretty good job. And we're just about to leave the studio house for the day, but I won't be at the studio house tomorrow. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a couple of things, a couple of smaller projects with me in order to work on away from Studio House. So what we've got are a few of these Zoom mics there for backup audio for when our clients are filming. Basically, this threaded piece on the bottom needs to be fixed. So that's a project we'll work on at a later date. So we'll take those from the Studio House with us. That's a wrap, I think, for today.